It's Week 5 of the National Football League, and this one features Kyron Williams. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Lions and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 24.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and rock.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, 6th-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early 2nd and long they're facing. Looking to throw it. Minshew. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Minshew sets to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Brought down on the play by Trenton Simpson.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Minshew. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play call,
under pressure, and they got to him again.
Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Ryan.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
No! Hey!
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
Ready.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Ready, go!
Throwing now is Stroud.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready, break!
Stroud. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense.
They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Play action. Stroud now. This ball caught by McIntosh.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
The Vikings at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Ready.
On third down, Robinson.
Well, I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Out is Tucker McCann now to try the field goal.
From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt.
McCann's kick is good.
And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Here's Minshew.
Now he's loose at the 40.
And all the way up to the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw.
Open man is Komet, the tight end.
And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now back to throw. Caught left side, Williams. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down. It'll be Minshew again. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. So 8 yards on the completion there, and now 3rd down and 6 to go. They'll look to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A toss to the wide side. This is Williams. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Off play action, it's Minshew. He's got the hook up to Hopkins. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw here.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown.
His 5th rushing touchdown on the year, 6th overall.
And the Lions have taken the lead.
No, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
Come on.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Stroud to throw it.
He finds his man, complete. It's Phillips. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions to take over. Last week they got the victory against the Colts, and they lead this one as well as they begin things here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught left side Hopkins.
And he will be out of bounds after a nice pickup. And that will also lead us to the 2-minute warning. Minshew's throw here going to be caught by Wilson.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. He'll drop to throw. Man open left side, it's Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Again, Minshew looking to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Minshew sets to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end Kmet. And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead in that one. A touchdown pass there for Jalen Hurts. From there, let's get to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Marvin Mims, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Joe Burrow with 3 touchdown passes.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. How come the Vikings don't have it first on offense as we begin the third? Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. What's been thrown down, they want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Check, Panther.
On second down, it's Stroud. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On the draw, Robinson.
And this will be a Vikings first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Ready, hut. Ready.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Over the middle, complete. That's Marshall. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Check. Cavalier,
Stroud looking to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Stroud on third down now. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Desmond King picks it. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota.
Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, hey, roll, Bronco switch,
Here's Stroud. Pass caught, it's Romeo Doubs.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Alert!
Stroud out of the gun here. That was short one to Gesicki.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they started some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Stroud off the play fake.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call.
Reload.
Stroud.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Now Stroud. The throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, Detroit back in possession of the football.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll go play action here with Minshew. Caught left side, Williams. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
This is 2nd and 8.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Vikings are right back in this football game.
That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
They need to execute. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
Check, check.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well. Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the gun is Minshew.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try to throw for it with Minshew.
Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. And he is going to have a Lions first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
It'll be Minshew again.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Looking to throw it. Minshew.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Throwing quickly to Wilson.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
On the ready.
And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
It's called the right side by Robinson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. He's got him in. Complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, give them credit. They're going to stay and fight this out to the end. 4th down, you've got to go for it. And they not only convert, but pick up some good yardage as well.
Here we go.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Stroud.
Now a short one to Gesicki. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Check.
Here goes Stroud again. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
Now here's Stroud on 3rd down.
Hard throw, incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down as he's brought to the ground after a gain of 7, 5 more than he needed on 4th and 2.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And Stroud now to throw.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons. Touchdown, Vikings!
Terrace Marshall.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Detroit's offense ready to take over.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
On third down, here's Williams.
And he will have a Lions first down, and that's the one that should seal a victory. They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. On second down, Williams. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Here's Minshew.
And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on third down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 13, a little over 40 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, it's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill when your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon. There's an incompletion right there.
He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips.
And brought down, but not before he gets a good gain and a first down, up shy of the 40. Stroud to throw it. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical third down here.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
One final shot for C.J. Stroud. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Detroit, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's...
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 55 yards.
It's a pretty mediocre week for him on the ground. Certainly a boon to his offense if he can get a little more output on his touches this week. He should get some more early carries as his team tries to get him into a rhythm.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
Carolina punt team out there led by Johnny Hecker.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Ritter back to throw.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down.
Set, ready.
Ritter will set up to throw it. He'll go right back to St. Brown.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Back to throw, Ritter.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
And he'll maneuver his his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Ready, set.
2nd down and 6 now.
Swing, yellow, blue, check. Ready, ready.
Here's a toss play right to Swift. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
Black one. Check right. Opposite. Green, yellow, line.
Ritter throwing on 3rd down. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
At the 24-yard line.
Let's go. Go.
Stroud. That's out wide here for Robinson.
They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now.
Let's go. Ready.
Stroud to throw it.
And this one is incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field.
We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Brought down on the play by Kobe Turner.
Ready, ready.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2.
Ready.
As they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Ready.
Ritter to throw it.
Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard
Here we go,
line.
set.
First down, here's Ritter.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job controlling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Sticking with the passing game. Here's Ritter again. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Black one.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
Ritter from the gun.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Strike 2. Check right. Opposite.
Looking to throw it here. Ritter. Quick throw there is incomplete.
This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now Ritter, and that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 6. Stroud sets up the play action. Pass complete there in the throw.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 21. A good pick up there of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now Stroud.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The Vikings at a disappointing 1-4 as they start play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Hey, check that.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
On now, Tucker McCann.
From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt.
McCann's kick up and good.
And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Ritter now. He'll get this off to Swift.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Flush to his right. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Here's Ritter. And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Meanwhile, Ritter's throw complete there to St. Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Ritter looking to throw on 1st and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Ritter trying to get them up to the line here in a hurry. Ritter finds his man on the out route. It's Chenault. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Working from the gun, Ritter. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's a 3rd down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd and 7. Ritter back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings, the big fella. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the lead grows to 10-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Panther offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and it's the Jets who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. Jamar Chase a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Saquon Barkley, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. Finally, let's get to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. C.D. Lamb, a touchdown catch in the victory. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thank you. We welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. 10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. He'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Bronco switch.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Third down and 10. Here's Stroud. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They cannot afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
Now on fourth down, Otis, the punt team sending this one away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And they will take over first and 10.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Holding offense.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
560. Ready?
Ritter will set up to throw it.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sack.
Back to throw, Ritter. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he'll get it out near the 30 to the 39. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down, they just said, we got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10.
Smash!
Stroud now on first and 10. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it out to the 25.
First and 10, it's Stroud.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
And Stroud now to throw. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
Stroud's throw here taken in by Gesicki.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
Stroud to throw it.
And his throw here's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Check, Panther.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Panthers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So that, Charles, may be the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something, because we're into the third quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
Carolina getting set to take the field.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Ritter to throw it.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up second down.
Ready, break.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 48.
Let's go.
Looking to throw it here. Ritter.
Caught by Jones. So the completion good for just 3. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Check, pink, switch, yellow, blue, check.
They'll try and run here with Swift.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Ready?
Ritter now on 2nd down. Slant pass to Boyd. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Ritter now. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Yellow, Lonnie, Smith, red, check, pink.
Swift going to try up the middle.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina.
DeAndre Swift, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
This taken in right around the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've been asleep for a little while on this.
One of the linebackers has got it. Inside the 20.
And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. But how about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here.
Ready, go!
Stroud off the play fake. He's got the hook up with Dobbs.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Stroud sets up the play action. Completes it again to Dobbs.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Stroud to the air on first and 10. Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10.
They'll run this one right with Robinson.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Throwing now is Stroud.
That is caught. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal.
Hawk 70.
Play action. Stroud now.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Spiller will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Able to punch it in on third down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Ritter.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Ready.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Ritter back to throw. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he'll be stopped up as he could only muster a yard. So 4th down coming up on the other side as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Ready.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, number 6 overall. And the Vikings get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
So now the Panthers down 24-14. A minute 46 to go. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down.
Come on, set. Blue check. Black swap.
Now Ritter. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Here's Ritter.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Ritter looks to throw it. Complete to Boyd. And he is going to have the Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Ritter. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Here we go.
He was defended by Derek Stingley.
Ready.
Back to throw. Ritter.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts it in what he hopes that they have.
All right, partner, work with me here because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again. Well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game.
Unlock line. Rig it. Check.
To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote.
Tucker McCann on for the field goal. A 45-yard attempt.
But Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf, and today that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road, and we'll be in the playoffs. That's why defending the home field is vital.
So for Minnesota, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the downward spiral
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and the focus is on Jacoby Myers. It was a nice line for him a week ago, reaching the century mark and scoring a touchdown. It's the Packers and the Vikings. All that and more coming up next.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback.
Set up. Shot alert. Trap alert.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. The Vikings at 2 and 4 here in the first half of the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They get the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Now Stroud sets up the screen to Robinson. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down. You look at this Packers defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up fourth down. Here's Presley Harvin now. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a former most valuable player in the National Football League, the always dangerous Lamar Jackson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now Jackson.
That's complete to Hutchinson.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And even though this is a top 5 rushing offense, and we see this especially early in the game, they're going to do their best to keep you honest. They don't want you getting the habit of stacking the box, so that's a good throw there. And they're able to come up with the 1st down.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The numbers for Mixon last week: 20 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
You know he's proud of his standing as the league's #3 rusher, and those linemen in front of him, they're just as proud, but they all have the same goal in mind. Get him to #1 in the league and celebrate a rushing title at the end of the year. That starts with a good game here.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Vikings are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. So problems with Eric passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this 1st quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Ready.
1st and 10, it's Stroud. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Alert! Alert! Smash! Smash!
Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Pass complete there in the clear. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. Robinson up the middle. Oh, he shifts past him to about the 26 here.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Only able to gain a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. On the draw, Robinson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Out is Tucker McCann now to try the field goal.
This a 43-yard attempt.
McCann's kick is good.
And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive.
Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
From the gun, Jackson. Open man, there's Darnell Washington. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Once again, they run with Mixon.
To about the 35, second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Jalen Phillips able to record his 5th sack of the season.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Vikings head out to take over once again.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Alert! Alert! Smash! Smash! Check! Panther! Reload! Reload! Unlock line!
On first down, here's Stroud. On the out route, Dobbs brings it in.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
As Stroud now to throw. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson.
So no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Here we go! Here we go!
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Okay,
This
ready?
offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Ready?
Throwing again is Stroud. Completes it again to Dobbs.
Let's go!
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
2nd and 6.
No! No! Hey! Hey! Roll! Roll! Bronco switch! Alert! Alert!
Stroud off the play fake.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
Romeo Dobbs.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Packer offense heading back for one final first half drive. They're certainly in need of some kind of points here before the end of the half. A field goal or something being shut out right now. They could really use some momentum before they head into halftime.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down.
It's taken in by Quentin Johnston.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. His throw incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Jackson now.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. From midfield now, here's Jackson. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead.
I'd say that it's fair to say nothing has gone right in this first half for them. Even here, you've got a chance to at least get on the board, but that goes by the wayside. And now, this coaching staff, they've got to figure out some way to wake this team up at halftime to get them going.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Titans with the lead in the second quarter of play. The Titans still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Big Derrick Henry with a couple of touchdown runs. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Adam Thielen, a touchdown reception. We just watched a very good first half out of the Ohio State man, C.J. Stroud. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting more pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Play action. Now Jackson. Pass out left finds Johnston. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Jackson. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And out will come the offense as they take over. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Reload, unlock line,
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So nothing doing there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Now Stroud. Now a short one to Gesicki. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Check.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up second down.
Ready.
2nd and 6 at the 43-yard line.
On the counter, this is Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Let's go. Ready.
Stroud. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Oh, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line.
Report. Hey, middle.
That's complete to Hutchinson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the
Middle.
29-yard line.
Report. You.
They go play action with Jackson. Over the middle, he's got Myers. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. It's Myers again with another catch. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on 3rd down. Even better decision.
Jackson on first down. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
13. Hey, report. Hey, middle.
To throw again is Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, They all say the exact same thing.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Drop for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Get up. Chop alert, chop alert. Check out.
A shotgun snap to Stroud.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
No, no.
Hand off now to Robinson.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Roll. Bronco switch. Alert, alert.
Stroud on 3rd down now.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
Romeo Doubs
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
McCann now for the extra point.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. This is Mixon on the draw. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
The tackle by Cole Holcomb. They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. Jackson. He's got this one to Hutchinson. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. From the gun, Jackson to Mixon on the check down.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Jackson's throw there complete to Myers.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson going to throw deep for the end zone.
And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. it. They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited until the 4th quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit.
Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there.
Check, check. Shot alert, shot alert.
On the give, here's Robinson.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
The tackle made there by Drew Sanders.
Let's go now.
Brings up 2nd down.
Set up.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2.
On the set.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but there
he goes right side.
Down the sideline he goes. Inside the 10.
Touchdown, Packers.
Trey Nixon.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Packers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Roll, roll, roll.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Check, Panther.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. And they will take a knee here.
Check. Traveler. No. Hey, check that. Huh.
To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote.
Ready, set.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Vikings, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.